The brothers.
All right, VG Bros are.
Hitting it up.
We're back. The band is back together. We got
Sweet.
Ringo, George, Paul, and the other guy, and we're hitting some garage sales. We're in Hayden, Idaho. It's the 2nd of April, 2021, and if this should be our last transmission,
Godspeed.
may God be with you on your side.
Welcome back to the VG Bros, everybody. I'm Brother Andy, and we got Brother Phil here. It's a new season. It's been a long time since we've had a video.
It feels like a couple of years.
Yeah, so Phil moved to Idaho last year. I'm just in town visiting right now, and we hit some garage sales today.
There's actually garage sales in Idaho. So COVID doesn't really exist in Idaho. I don't know if you're aware of that. We just don't have it here. People don't really care about it here, I should say. So there's plenty of garage sales.
Everything's open. You go, no one's wearing masks. Some people are wearing it, but it's not required anywhere. It's kind of refreshing to be here. It's walking around in town. It's like normal. It's like pre-2020 in
awesome.
Idaho. Yeah, it is. It's awesome.
Yeah, and by the way, I already got COVID, and I'm over it, and I'm fine.
Yeah.
Who cares? Next.
Yeah. There's only a 99.9% chance of survival, so...
Most people I know in Idaho have gotten COVID, including very unhealthy people. They're fine.
They got over it.
Everyone got over it. Someone's going to say,
I know.
my grandmother died.
I
Okay,
know.
yeah, look. For some people, I understand if you're 98 years old, it's pretty bad. If you're not, don't worry about it.
And if you're paranoid, don't go to restaurants. Sit at home and order Grubhub like you've been doing for the last 12 months. Fine.
We went to maybe, 5 garage sales?
Yeah.
6 garage sales this morning. We didn't find anything. It was a bust, unfortunately.
It was fun to get out there again. I haven't gone to any garage sales. I mean, I went to maybe 2 or 3 all of last year. So, yeah, it's been a while.
This is actually the 2nd or 3rd weekend that I've gone to garage sales so far this year, and I actually found Pokemon Crystal
nice
at one for $2, sitting on a table, 11:30 a.m., just sitting there for $2. It came with a bunch of weird Mad Catz stuff that I didn't want, but hey, the whole thing was $2. Not gonna complain about that. Found a stash of Pokemon cards last weekend for $20. Sort of went through them all. There's a couple $100 in value there, so I'm trying to do anything I can beyond even video games. I'm trying to learn about DVDs now. We're talking about this. We know. I mean, if you watch Retro Rick's channel and some other guys, they're really into the DVDs and the ones that have value, and I need to learn that because we saw a lot of DVDs today. We probably passed up some valuable ones. I didn't have the time to sort through them all.
Yeah, a lot of people are catching on to video games being valuable. In fact, one girl told us today that she had video games, but she sold them on Facebook Marketplace or whatever,
Yep.
you know, to maximize top dollar. And I don't blame her at all. I mean, I would have done the same thing if I'm selling stuff like. But DVDs, most people have no idea of value when it comes to DVDs. No clue.
No.
They're just like, they're a buck each, and here you go.
It's a roundabout way to fund your video game collection when you go garage selling, because you can spend a whole weekend and find no video games, but if you find the right DVDs to resell, you can come up with a bunch of money, and then you can go out and buy those games if you want to with that money.
There was one Xbox 360 disc just kind of laying around, and that was my in. And I'm like, hey, you got any more video game stuff? And she said we had some Xbox and Wii games, and they got sold first thing in the morning.
The disc we saw looked like it had been used as a coaster for 12 years. I'm not gonna cry over that loss.
Yeah,
I'm just not.
I don't know what games were there. I'm picturing, a Wii Sports probably scratched up, probably doesn't even work, and some shovelware, maybe a new Super Mario Brothers,
a Wii Fit, and a Deal or No Deal game.
So much shovelware in the Wii.
Unreal.
The Wii and the DS, I think, have maybe the PS2, the most amount of shovelware of any system ever.
If you find 10 GameCube games, like, you're gonna find some good ones.
The odds are good, unless they've been picked over.
Right.
10 unpicked over GameCube games, the odds are in your favor.
If you find 10 Wii games, there might be 0 in there.
There might be.
If they lost, I mean, Wii Sports would be your best Bet.
And sometimes you don't even find that.
Yeah, they lose it. It
yeah.
didn't have a case. It's lost.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about some games we've been playing in the off season. I'll start. I've been on kind of a Castlevania kick. Symphony of the Night.
Clutch.
I finished this one, and for me, maybe it's just a nostalgia too, because we did have this when we were teenagers.
Yeah.
I just love everything about it.
Yeah. The graphics, the music, the dialogue, as cheesy as it is just entertaining.
It's part of the charm now. Cheesy dialogue that had a really rough translation from Japanese in the 80s and 90s. It just has a charm now. It does.
Even the Final Fantasy games up through, I would say, 7 have major translation issues. Even Final Fantasy 7. It's kind of ridiculous. Whoever translated that, like when you listen to Barrett talk, Barrett is the black character, and you listen to him talk, it's embarrassing. Like, did the translators think this is what black guys sound like?
I guess.
Like, who signed off on this?
What were they watching on American television that gave them that idea? I played and finished Chrono Trigger. It's the first time I've ever played it through to completion. So...
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And
all 12 endings, or
just one ending? And this is a lot of people's favorite game on the Super Nintendo. It's a lot of people's favorite RPG. A lot of people will tell you it's their favorite game of all time.
Yeah.
I don't share those opinions. I think it is a fantastic game from start to finish. I loved every moment of it, and I think it's probably the 4th best RPG on the Super Nintendo, if you want my opinion.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah. I would say Final Fantasy 2 and 3 are better. I think Earthbound might even be better.
Okay.
But I haven't finished Earthbound yet. I'm working on it. I'll develop an opinion on that when I complete it.
I love Chrono Trigger. In fact, I got this back in the day, like almost on day 1. And I played it and I loved it. But now that I've had, 25 years to look back on this and compare it a little more objectively, I'm kind of with Phil on this. It's not my favorite RPG on Super Nintendo. I would put both of the Final Fantasy games ahead of it. My biggest gripe is that it's just kind of short. It's a 10 to 12 hour experience. And I know there's always multiple endings, and the idea is that you play it over and over and over again and you experience all of these different endings. I get that, but I just prefer a bigger, deeper experience like Final Fantasy 6/3 that only has one ending, but that the game is 30 to 40 hours long. I prefer that over a short game that has different endings.
Yeah. Great game.
Great game.
I just don't understand why it's on everyone's #1 list of everything. I don't personally.
People love the characters. They love the story and they love the characters, and the characters are very endearing.
Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. This is a game that Andy found at a garage sale 2 years ago.
2 or 3 years ago.
And I ended up with the disc. I ended up completing it via eBay. I think the case and manual I bought for only $50. This is a very challenging game. Permadeath all the way. You're constantly losing characters and then resetting because you don't want to lose the character because they'll never come back again. The end boss is brutally difficult. It's just so satisfying when you finish a game this hard. Loved Path of Radiance. These are some games that Andy's been playing, if you want to talk about those.
I don't know. I've been playing this. I don't have it right here, but I've been playing Mario Sunshine on the 3D All-Stars. And I've kind of gained a new appreciation for this game. I've always liked it, but it's never been one of those games that I just played over and over and over again, like Mario 64. Yeah. But I've really enjoyed playing this. I've been through it at least 2 times now. I'm going on my 3rd time on the 3D All-Stars version. They want you to get the shine sprite that they want you to get. But the speedrunners have actually managed to circumvent that on a few of the shine sprites. Just a few of them. It's really entertaining. I've tried. I can't do it. It's just a matter of clipping through a little roof on Gelato Beach or clipping through that glass wall in the hotel, but I don't know, I can't do it. But it's fun to watch. I love the speedrunning videos on this game because it is just incredible how much they have perfected this game.
Nintendo and Rare really figured out 3D platformers before everybody else did.
Yep.
And one of the things that saves so many of their games, which they didn't do in Mario 64, but they did it in both of the Banjo games, they did it in Mario Sunshine, they did it in Metroid Prime, which is they give you an ability to more or less double jump or something that has the effect of double jumping, right? You can leap into the air in Mario Sunshine and maybe you miss your target, no problem. You got the water pack, you got FLUDD behind you, and then you can use that, and then you can sort of steer your way towards the platform that you're moving on. In these early 3D games, that was a game changer, because when you played some of these other 3D platformers that was on other systems, they didn't have double jumps, very many of them, and you were constantly missing your platform, and then you die, right? You fall down, you have to do it all over again. It's so frustrating because the controls were so difficult back then. They were just figuring this out. So that double jump feature is just a game changer.
They had that in Yoshi's Island, Super Mario World 2.
That's right.
You could jump with Yoshi and kind of give yourself another little grace jump in midair. But one thing I will say that Nintendo got right from the very beginning with 3D platformers, and I think is what saved Mario 64 and Mario Sunshine, was the ledge grab. My goodness, that ledge grab is so clutch in Mario 64. This was a game that most people had never experienced controlling a character in a 3D environment before. It was a brand new thing, and Nintendo knew people were gonna die a lot, and they introduced that ledge grab, which just saves you so many deaths throughout the game.
What else have you been playing?
Well, I know.
Are you always playing
I
Breath of the Wild?
always have a Breath of the Wild game. Well, so I just downloaded the DLC for the first time, and I had never done that before. So that kind of got me playing it again.
Okay.
And I will say it is fun. I like the DLC. Have you done the DLC?
A little bit. I never finished it.
Okay. I like it, but they do this thing that a lot of games do with DLC, where they want to give you a challenge, but they realize that by the time you get this, your character is so powerful that they're like, it's kind of hard to give someone a challenge. So what they do is just strip you of everything, all weapons, all outfit,
Down to
armor,
your underwear.
down to your underwear, and then they go, here, beat this boss, and it's just like, there's no better way of. I hate putting 100 hours into a game and building up this character,
Only 100?
and then having them just take that away from you. I don't know. I get they want a challenge, but there's no better way of making a challenge than,
There's plenty of other things to do in that game that are a lot more fun than the DLC, just from my opinion.
It's not. I mean, it's worth doing, but it's
People
not
are doing
great.
speed runs on this. 100% speed runs, which means they're getting all the Korok seeds, all 900 Korok seeds in a speed run, which means they're going almost 40 hours without sleeping or even going to the bathroom. I don't know. How do you do this? People are doing this, right?
People are doing a no damage 100% speed run, which is insane. I mean, there have been a couple of guys I've seen on their Twitch streams that have made it towards the end of that run. Like presumably they haven't slept in literally like 30 hours, and they just take damage from some random bat that flew by and they weren't paying attention. It's like it kills your entire run. Like, man, those speedrunners are a different breed of people. I don't know how they do it.
I'll talk about one more game before you go. Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn. Yeah, I love the Fire Emblem series. I've been saying this for a long time. I've been trying to get you into it.
I own a bunch of the Fire Emblem games. I just haven't brought myself to play any of them. I don't know what to tell you.
Don't know that there's a more addicting battle mechanic in an RPG that I've ever played. I can't even describe it, but I talked about Path of Radiance. Radiant Dawn is a direct sequel. A lot of the same characters. Very challenging. It's great. I'm probably almost done with it right now. I'm not really sure, but that's what I'm currently playing. So enough about Fire Emblem. What else you got?
Well, so I have already played this game. I've been through it twice now, but the second time I got so much more out of it because I actually beat the game. The first time I didn't realize. I mean, I could have looked it up, but I wasn't looking things up. I was just playing through it. I didn't realize the first time I went through this game that after you beat everybody's story, so there's 8 characters and each character has 4 main quests or whatever they call them.
Yeah, something like that.
Whatever. And once you beat all that, the credits roll and it's like the end. You beat the game. Congratulations. And I just kind of quit. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm on to something else.
Done.
Right? And then like a year later, I picked the game up again and I start going through the game again. And then I start looking up, you know, a little help from Google and YouTube and whatever, which I did not do the first time. But after doing some research on this game, I realized I didn't really beat the game. Like there is another final boss to the game after you get all the credits. And so I said, okay, I got to do this.
Got to do it.
You can do it. It's doable. And I finally did it, and it's amazing. And the music throughout the whole game, I know we've talked about this before. It's incredible. And the final boss music, which I'd never even heard before because I never got that far before.
It's great.
It blows you away.
great.
It's so good. I just love Octopath
This
Traveler.
game was made for you and me.
Yeah.
It's as if Square It's as if Square Enix just came over and talked to you and me and said, what do you want in a JRPG? And we're going to craft that game for you.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It feels like I always wanted, after Final Fantasy VI, I always wanted Square to make a game just like that again.
Yeah.
And then they didn't. They went way out into the next gen with Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, all the way through today. Wildly different games, different art styles, different music, different everything. And this game is as if they just went back to their roots and said, okay, we're going to make a Final Fantasy 3 Part 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
I love the art style. I love it way better than the Bravely games.
Oh, yeah.
I put a lot of time into Bravely Default 1 and 2 or second layer.
Bravely second?
Second, yeah, Bravely second. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't love the art style in that.
No.
It's just not what I want in an art style. It looks like they're trying to render every character in 3D too much. And you don't need to do that because these characters look exactly like Celis and Rydia from the first Final Fantasy games, and I love it.
Yeah.
And the music is as if it came down from heaven and just landed in your speakers. It's unreal. And this team is making a new RPG called Triangle Strategy.
Project Triangle Strategy.
When Nintendo had their Direct a month or two ago and that part came up, I about jumped out of my shoes. I was so excited.
That was the only thing in that Direct that got me excited.
Me too. And then when the Direct ended, everyone was like, well, that Direct sucked. And I was like, what are you talking about? Didn't you see Project Triangle Strategy?
I thought the same thing.
Another question. What are some games that you're really good at that seemingly most people aren't good at? Anything come to mind?
The first one that comes to mind is Zelda 2.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Most people suck at Zelda 2.
they do.
And I'm not great at it, but dude, a couple years ago I did a playthrough of it for the first time in a long time. And I got through every level up until the Great Palace without looking it up, without searching Google to find out where to go next. I didn't die a ton. There's kind of a nuance to killing enemies. A lot of the enemies in the game, you have to kind of slice your sword as you're coming down from a jump at a certain angle, especially those, what are they called? Iron swords?
Iron knuckles, I
Iron
think.
knuckles, yeah.
Yeah.
Those guys are tough. If you don't know, if you just approach those guys and don't jump and you just like slice your sword up and down and
You're going to die.
You're gonna die.
Yep.
They block almost everything and they're gonna chip away at you and kill you. But like, you jump at them, you come down at that angle. They're very, very doable. The bosses are very doable.
I could breeze through the entire game in a couple of hours until the final palace, and then that's not really a breeze, but still it's doable.
The Great Palace is a challenge. Up until then, I don't know. It's not that hard.
It isn't.
And I don't know if it's just because I played it so much as a kid and I'm kind of grandfathered into the difficulty and whatever.
Yeah,
but,
maybe.
I don't know.
People will include that game on the list with Castlevania, Castlevania 2,
Ninja Gaiden.
Ninja
I know.
Gaiden, TMNT 1,
Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
maybe Mike Tyson. They'll put Zelda 2 on that list every time. I'm like, Zelda 2 is easy. It really is easy.
Yeah.
And like Andy said, those enemies, there's 4 or 5 maybe enemies in the whole game that you see repeatedly. You just have to learn the mechanic of how to beat them. There's this very specific way of how to beat every single enemy, and you learn that, and then the whole game is a breeze.
It's not that hard of a game.
Ninja Gaiden is way harder.
Way harder.
Way harder.
Yeah.
TMNT is way harder.
Yeah. I've never beaten Ninja Gaiden, and I've never beaten TMNT.
I haven't either.
I've beaten Zelda 2. I've beaten Punch Out. In fact, many, many times. Punch Out to me is another. In fact, I think I would add it to the topic of what you asked about.
Yeah, you are really good at Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
I've always been good at Mike Tyson's Punch Out. I've beaten every character in that game, including Tyson, many, many times over. It's just all about those reflexes, and it's all about looking for those little cues, like when he blinks one eye, you know he's going to take a swing. He's hard to KO. He's hard to TKO. But if you get through all 3 rounds and you have at least 5,000 points, you win by decision automatically. And that's not that hard. I don't know. I know it's hard for a lot of people. It was hard for me at first, but you know what's impressive is the guy who beat him blindfolded. You ever seen that video?
Mm-mm.
So someone has actually beaten the entire game, including Mike Tyson, blindfolded.
It's inhuman.
It is. I don't even. I can't even. You watch the video. It will blow your mind.
I've seen it in my feed. I've just never clicked on it. I don't know why. I've never clicked on it. So what are some go-to YouTube channels that you watch? In the gaming area.
I'm addicted to speedruns.
Yeah.
So, and I don't do any speedruns myself at all. I never have. But I'm addicted to, Mitch Flower Power, who does Super Mario Brothers 3. I watch his Twitch streams a lot. I watch Arcus's Twitch streams.
Arcus is wonderful.
He's really entertaining.
He must be the best NES player in the
Yeah,
world.
he's so good.
It's sick, dude.
Yeah.
Battletoads, Ninja Gaiden 1, 2, 3, TMNT. He plows through these games.
Yeah,
It's unreal.
yeah.
Cosmic is a good one.
Cosmic
for Mario
is
stuff.
Cosmic is very good. Cool Kid something. He plays Super Mario Brothers 2, and man, he just keeps beating his own world record. Oh, like almost every day, he's beating his own world record again. It's incredible.
Summoning Salt can't even keep up with these guys anymore.
Oh yeah, and there's another guy named Carl Jobst
Yeah.
that just kind of chronicles speedrunning and a little bit of like world record history, but kind of a different angle than Summoning Salt, and he's very entertaining. I recommend him too. Yeah, I don't know what's so addicting about speedrunning. I can't get enough of it.
It's like, you and I both hate the Olympics, right?
Oh yeah,
Because it's just utter nonsense.
It's stupid.
And it's so stupid. But this is like the Olympics of video gaming.
it's events that I care about. My problem with the Olympics is watching someone jump into a pool is just not entertaining to me.
Exactly.
I get that they're really good at it. I just don't care. It's not. Whatever. But watching someone get a new world record on Super Mario 64, that is entertaining to me. I love watching that. Simply is really good at Mario 64. Cheese and that's the third guy that plays it a lot. But yeah, very, very good, high level of skill going on there, and I can't get enough of it.
I really miss garage sale hunting channels because, and I still watch anyone that was producing the content before and is still producing it now. I still watch all those guys. I watch Chase, I watch Rick, I watch the Pixel Game Squad.
Yeah.
I'm still watching those channels.
But they've just kind of turned into, pawn shops and thrift stores.
They're shopping. They're
and
just shopping now.
Facebook Marketplace
Yeah.
hunting. And that's okay, but
it's great.
I miss the garage sales.
I know. And I understand that they just can't garage sale.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the world we live in right now.
I get it. Yeah.
But they're still finding collector's luck has just been for the last 12 months. I mean, the stuff that he finds, I don't know where he lives, but the Facebook Marketplace where he lives, like it's just
he's in Minnesota.
It just seems like every other day they're just putting out truckloads of GameCube games and Super Nintendo RPGs. I know. Man, I never find that stuff on Facebook.
Yeah.
But I really do miss watching CJR and even guys like Chase go to the garage sales, and I'm learning a lot from Chase. Part of me really wants to just be a full-time reseller. I want to do that so bad. I can't quite pull the trigger. It takes a lot of courage and I think I need more knowledge anyway in a lot of areas, but I love watching guys do it. I love watching them get into the sports cards and the Pokemon cards and anything else that just has value that they don't, whoever you bought it from, they don't know the value of it, and you can capitalize on that.
Yeah.
So I really like watching those channels, and but like I said, hopefully this year at least you and I together can come up with some garage sale content.
If there's gonna be garage sales this year in my area, I'm gonna be there.
Yeah.
That's I said the same thing last year, and last year it was just a dud. It was just, there were only a few every weekend, and it wasn't worth driving 25 miles to get to, and I didn't go out. But,
And there will be garage sales in my area. I mean, in fact, there's going to be a community sale next weekend.
I love community sales.
And the
so
demographics
much.
in Idaho are so good
Yeah.
for video games.
Yeah.
People here just hoard stuff. I don't understand it. There's storage units on every corner because people have so much crap in their garage, they literally have to buy a storage unit just to hoard all their crap. I don't get it. But because of that, I know there's a lot of video games, old video games, in their garage, in their basement,
Oh, yeah.
untouched for decades probably.
yeah.
I know that exists out here.
Yep.
So I'm really excited to get in on that.
Yeah. That's
So
gonna be
keep watching our channel. We're gonna have
Oh, yeah.
we're gonna have some garage sale content. I know we basically took last year off. I moved. COVID happened. Look,
Yeah,
it is
last
what it
year
is.
was kind of a mess, but 2021 is going to be better.
It will be.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's about all we got. We just kind of wanted to. I don't know. It's been a while.
Yeah, I just wanted to see you guys again.
Yeah.
See how you're doing.
Thanks for continuing to watch our silly little channel.
I mean, all 100 of you that watches our videos.
I don't know.
I don't
probably,
know.
Yeah.
Thanks for supporting the channel. You can find us on Patreon. I'm just kidding. We don't have
no.
Patreon.